Now, what is Ketu? Ketu is about being less competitive. Ketu is about negation. Ketu is about avoidance. Ketu is about where you will be happy within yourself and you don't want to stress on something too much. Ketu is a planet of negation. Ketu is the planet of the dark energy. Ketu is where your leftover karma, your balance of karma is there. The karma which you have not completed, largely it's completed, but some remnants is remaining. And so you need to give off. You need to be charitable, to be donating in that placement. Saturn is where you need to actually serve, where you need to bend your back, where you need to focus, where you need to serve with the attitude of servitude, of humility, of respecting boundaries, with organization, with structured effort. And so Saturn going in different houses from Ketu will also denote where you need to respect the most boundaries, where you need to be giving up the most. So when Saturn and Ketu are together in conjunction or one with each other, then it is very high energy where you need to give up the most, receive the least. Ketu is the planet of negation, denial. It denies giving you any results of that house or sign where it is placed and of the planet which it is placed with. So this is a placement where Saturn with Ketu means Saturn is service, doing for others, bending your back for others, doing teamwork for others, not thinking so much for self, thinking about the team, the organization, thinking about just superiors, the department, the industry, rather than for self. So when Saturn and Ketu are together, Ketu being the sign or the energy of denial and Saturn being the attitude of serving, this means you need to serve, you need to do, not think of the results at all. This is like in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told Arjun that you just do your service, you do your duty, don't worry about the fruits of your labor. So this is a placement where you need to not worry about the fruits of labor at all. Most of the results of that house will be denied to you. And Saturn being conjunct with Ketu means whichever houses Saturn rules in the horoscope. Saturn could be with Ketu in Leo, it could be in Cancer, it could be in Scorpio, it could be in any house, but it could be ruling other houses by virtue of its rulership of Capricorn and Aquarius. So whichever two houses it rules, suppose it rules the 10th and 11th house, for example, for Aries ascendant native, or it rules the 11th and 12th house, for example, or it rules the 4th and 5th house, or it rules the 9th and 10th house, for example, for Taurus ascendant native. So depending on what houses it rules and then placed with Ketu, which means to get the results of those houses, you'll have to work the utmost. And you will find every now and then you have to struggle the most for the results of those houses. So for example, if you are in the Aries ascendant and Saturn rules Capricorn, but Saturn is placed with Ketu, for example, in the 11th house, then you will have to work 10 times harder to get the fruits of labor from your work. If Saturn and Ketu are placed, say, for example, in the 4th house, when Saturn rules the 5th house, then for investments, for romance, for getting gains, financial gains, you'll have to struggle the utmost. But wherever Saturn and Ketu are placed, it means that you will have to give up the most or sacrifice the most of that house to get the results of those houses that Saturn rules. For example, Saturn and Ketu in the 4th house, where Saturn rules, say, the 9th and the 10th house. So for your education and your career, you will have to be more charitable at home, more giving at home, or forget about getting anything out of home. Homely comforts, homely security, the love, the affection, the peace, you'll have to let go. The time that you spend at home, you'll have to sacrifice the utmost if you have to get the fruits of your education and your career. On the other hand, Saturn rules, for example, the 11th and the 12th house, and Saturn and Ketu are placed in the 2nd house of income. Then from foreign lands or working in social network, you'll have to sacrifice the most because Saturn and Ketu are together in the 2nd house of income, of livelihood. So getting very high designation, very high growth, very high roles or very high responsibilities, and to be earning from that will be the least. You'll have to struggle the most. So this is one of the most difficult placements of Saturn and Ketu together. My suggestion to you would be, rather than be undue stressed or worried about my Saturn and Ketu are in this house, think about some other areas where your strengths are the most, where the energies are the strongest, and focus on those rather than something else. So Saturn and Ketu are in the second house. Don't worry so much about income or livelihood. Worry about growth in your career, learning more about your career, being more competent, being an authority figure, so that because you're focusing on something that you can achieve, say output of that will be income. But if you focus too much of income, of earning, then you will find that earning will not come to you, and the other areas which you have not focused on and focused on earning, they will also be devoid of you. So this is a difficult placement surely, but please focus on the strengths in your horoscope where your maximum energies are, where the maximum dignities are, rather than focusing on where Saturn and Ketu are placed together in conjunction, whichever house it is.